Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the Inside Spurs channel. Happy Wednesday. You're halfway through the week. I promise you're nearly there, okay? Whatever it is that you're doing today, enjoy it, be safe and look after yourselves. Before jumping in and talking about the video today about Pierre Emile-Højbjerg, just want to say thank you to everyone who has subscribed. Hit 1.4k yesterday as I was releasing the video. Haven't actually made a video to say thank you. So thank you everyone who has subbed. And here's to 1.5, all right? In today's video, we're talking a little bit around Spurs' stance on Pierre Højbjerg's potential departure. We have an update around a club looking at Pierre Højbjerg for January, as well as some comments from Ange Postecoglou on the midfielder himself. And I do want to give my own opinion around him as well. So let me start off with my opinion first and foremost. And I want to make this really clear. I thought he had a superb game on Monday night against Fulham. He hasn't played a lot of minutes for Spurs this season, you know, in terms of quality minutes. Yes, he played against Fulham for a decent amount of time. He's played for Denmark. But for Spurs, it's been 10, 15, 20 minutes, right? This was the first proper game of competitive football other than the Carling Cup, but I'm not really worried about that one. And I thought he did very, very well. I think a lot of people try and compare him to Bissouma, and yes, that's not very fair. They're two completely different players. I thought it was a fantastic game. I don't really remember him putting a foot wrong in theory. Made some good passes forward, worked tirelessly in defence as well, and I think he was very, very quality for us. Now, do I still think it's the potential right thing to move on for him? I do. And I also think the only reason why I say that is it has to be a good price. I don't think we sell him for nothing or we loan him for no reason. We have to get a decent offer in because we want obviously to replace him. Now with Ange praised Pierre Højbjerg as well. Ange said that he's been very good in every game he's played for Spurs. I've put him in some difficult situations. He's handled them very well. And I think that's what Pierre Højbjerg is. He's a pro's pro. You don't hear him moaning or complaining. You see him leading by the pitch. You see him shouting at other players. He looks like a model professional footballer. You know, he's never going to be an issue in the change room. He's never going to be an issue on the training ground. If he's not playing, that's fine. He's going to keep working harder. And that's what I love. I love, you know, his ethos, his mentality and his leadership even. You know, he does have a leadership trait that is very uncommon at times. With him, though, I do think he's not truly an Ange player. I think Ange likes him, and I think all managers quite like him, but I don't truly see him as an Ange player. I don't even see Oliver Skip as a true Ange player. You know, I don't see Emerson Royale as a true Ange player. Ryan Sessegnon. There's a lot of them I don't truly see them as an Ange player. And that's not to say they're bad. I'm just saying in this system. So let me talk about the Spurs stance first. And this comes from Charlie Eccleshare in The Athletic, who put out that Tottenham Hotspur midfielder Pierre Emile-Højbjerg would be open to a move away in January. But Spurs, as in the summer, would only sanction a sale if a good offer came in and they could bring in a replacement. Obviously, that last part being very, very key, bringing in a replacement. Yes, we have Bentancur coming back, but you've also got African Cup of Nations come January time. So you're looking at the fact that you're going to lose Bissouma and you're going to lose Sarr. You're losing 66%, 0.6 recurrent. Obviously, I know that. Don't you mathematicians hit me with that. It's actually 66.7, but that's neither here nor there. You're losing 2/3 of your midfield, okay? Yes, you got Maddison, but you're losing 2/3 of midfield. You could look at that and go, but we're also getting Bentancur back. So by January time, we think he's going to be up to a decent level of speed that he could play the Sarr role. Okay, fine. You've got Bentancur there. What about the number 6 role? And this is the key point. If you move on from Højbjerg, you're looking at Oliver Skip then in that position, if you haven't brought a replacement in. It's difficult with Højbjerg come January time. It might not be something that we do in January. It might be something that Ange looks at and goes, move him on in summer because it makes more sense. Because if you're bringing this on in January, you're going to want him to hit the ground running because we can't wait 2-3 months for a guy to get up to speed just because we think he's a better quality suit to the system. We want to be able to get a guy in there and then, hit the ground running so that we can actually keep the progression, we can keep the momentum going. We can't sit around and wait for players to get up to speed when in terms of January. In terms of the summer, different story, but in January we can't risk that. And a part of me thinks, would it be not smart just to keep Højbjerg to the end of the summer, towards the summer, move him on in the summer, because it'll be last year of his contract. He's not going to sign a new deal if he's not playing enough, because he's going to be needed in that 1 month alone. Maybe you bring someone in anyway. Maybe you kind of go, look, we're going to move you towards the end of the month. You don't have to say it exactly to Hyberg, and you kind of say, look, Basuma will be back. There you go. We've got the replacement that we've already wanted. Hyberg, you can move on, mate, and get to the club that you want to go to. Which, at the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong that's, it would suit Hyberg to be playing regular minutes, because come February time, that might not be there again. He's got a big summer leading in for Denmark as well, and he wants to be in top condition and top form for that. Don't blame him there. But it's just that between a rock and a hard place. If there was no African Cup of Nations, I think we would move him on. But we do have African Cup of Nations. We're losing two of the very most important midfielders. Do you want to rely on a youngster or someone that doesn't truly know the ANZ system yet? You see what I mean? So interesting on that. But let's talk about the offer that supposedly might be coming in. And this comes from Calcio Mercato, who have said that Juventus are playing a loan deal for Pierre Emile-Højbjerg in January with the option of signing the Tottenham midfielder permanently next summer. So let me add some depth to that, then give you my opinion on what I hope the deal would look like. So for Juventus side of things, you've got Rabiot, whose contract is up next summer, and it looks like he's probably moving on. He's got a lot of interest from top clubs in Europe. Excuse me. You're obviously going to be losing Pogba for quite a long time due to the positive testosterone tests. You also then have recently had Nicola Fagioli, who was involved in that betting scandal, banned for 7 months. I mean, Tonali's been announced that he's banned for 10 months. So you're losing, Fagioli for 7 months, which is basically the end of the season. You need someone to come in January to bolster out that midfield, because you're losing a lot of players. Yes, you've got some midfielders there already, but when you play in Juventus' system, normally a 3-man midfield, 5 or 6 probably wouldn't cut it, right? I think he'd be perfect in Juventus. I think he'd be perfect in Serie A, Hyberg. I've always said that. I think that's a league that suits him very, very well. Now, on the deal itself, because in Italy, financial fair play, it's a bit tougher because of the fact that you have a lot less revenue coming into that league than you do a Premier League or a La Liga. I would hope that it's not an option, it's an obligation to buy, because I really hate the whole option to buy, because we've been caught by that so many times with, it's a loan with an option to buy, and the club doesn't pick up the option. Just get the obligation in there and get him gone. If you want him truly gone, then you get the obligation. Okay, fine, he's gone till the end of the season. Maybe you get a couple of million for the loan deal. They take his wages. Then you say, next summer, he's all yours. We want to do nothing to do with his wages, blah, 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 whatever, right? But then it obviously puts the pressure on, who do you get in? And I'm interested because we've been linked to a lot of number 8, things like that. Do they regard Bentancur as someone that can play the number 6 role? Now, in terms of, being a technical player, this is all dependent on Basuma missing game time, by the way. As a technical player, he is like Basuma. He can travel with the ball well. He can press. He can defend. I have no issues with Bentancur playing a 6. I'd like to see him as a number 8 personally. But you could have Sarr and Bentancur being number 6s if truly necessary. And I don't think your midfield would lose much if you've had Madders, Bentancur and Sarr. But I do think we do need a true number 6 in there. I'm not saying it has to be in the Hyberg style. I personally would like more of a Basuma style, just to keep the flow of the team the same. But we shall see on that. In terms of that deal, it has to be an option. It can't be an option. For me, it has to be an obligation. It has to be the fact that he is moving on. We need a replacement now. Get the replacement in. I really don't like options to buy. I don't know what you guys think, but I really don't like options to buy unless it suits Spurs. It suits Spurs. But you don't forget, Juventus and Spurs have a very good relationship. You think of Bentancur and you think of Kulusevski. Even in the summer last, they actually brought down the Kulusevski price for us. It wasn't by a lot, but they did do us a bit of a deal. So that helps. And obviously, yes, Fabio Paratici. We all know that link as well. But we have these links, and I think we'll get a decent deal out of Juventus because they're a fair club. And we're not going to overcharge them because they wouldn't do it to us. So hopefully it's a deal that suits everyone. And that is a big club in Italy and a club that will regain its form at some point. I don't know, Hyberg might reinstigate their club run and, get back into the top of Italian football, into the Champions League. We shall see. But anyway, guys, that's the end of the video. Hope you did enjoy it. Drop a like on the video if you did. Hit me in the comments section below around Pierre Højbjerg. One, he's got obviously his performance against Fulham on Monday night, but obviously, and just comments, Spurs' stance, Juventus' potential offer. What would you like the offer to be? Sorry. Let me know on all those things. I'm interested to see what you guys think. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, and hit the bell notification for more. But anyway, guys, that's the end of the video, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Take care, guys.